Diolch Llywyddanaeth y Gweinidog grynhoi y prif ffactorau a gwerthoedd sy'n penderfynu be di blaenoriaethau cyllidol Llywodraeth Cymru.
Thank you very much. So the main factors and priorities which determine the priorities of the Welsh Government will be found in our programme for government, and as I say, we're looking through at this particular budget through the lens of those 8 priority areas which Welsh Government has identified as being the ones which, if we can work more closely and in a more coordinated way across government, then we can have the greatest impact on people's lives. So those include things like housing, early years, social care, biodiversity, decarbonisation, employment and skills, and so on. So those are the areas which we have identified as being the key ways in which we can make a difference. But as a Cabinet, we have come to the decision that health will remain our priority within this next budget, and again, as I've said, giving local authorities the best possible settlement.
Diolch am y sylwadau ac yn cyfeirio at yr rhes o werthoedd na nesach chi I crybwyll. Dwi'n meddwl gallan ni gytuno bydda'r rheini'n cael ei rhoi o dan y label llesiant. O bosib dwi'n croesawu y sylwadau yn hynny o beth. Gai ddyfynu gyda chi I chi gan yr economegydd Joseph Stiglitz ddwedodd y llynedd. If we focus only on material well-being, on say the production of goods rather than on health, education, the environment, we become distorted in the same way that these measures are distorted. We become more materialistic. If we want to put people first, we have to know what matters to them, what improves their well-being, and how we can supply more of whatever that is. A dwi'n meddwl eich bod chi'n cytuno efo math yna o sylw. Mae llesiant pobl yn bwysig I ni. Yn enwog erbyn hyn, mae Zeland Newydd wedi cyflwyno dull newydd o gyllido yn canolbwyntio'n benodol ar geisio dilifro ar gyfer yr hyn sy'n bwysig I lesiant y pobl. Yn agosach at adra, mae Llywodraeth yr Alban hefyd yn mesur ei gyreiddiadau a'i berfformiad drwy National Outcomes efo pwysau statudol yn cael ei roi i'r rheini drwy y Community Empowerment Scotland Act 2015. Allwch chi fel gweinidog gadarnhau I fi os oes cais wedi cael ei roi, neu gwahoddiad rannu wedi cael ei roi I Lywodraeth Cymru I ymuno a chyngrau'r llesiant rhyngwladol lle mae nifer o wledydd yn gweithio efo'i gilydd I ddatblygu'r union fath o gyllidebau llesiant yma dwi wedi crybwyll yn yr Alban a Zeland Newydd.
Thank you very much. I'm familiar with the situation in New Zealand, and Welsh Government officials have been working closely with officials from New Zealand to better understand each other's approaches, because actually many of the things that the New Zealand budget setting approach incorporates are incorporated by our approach through the legislation of the Wellbeing Future Generations Act. So there are lots of mirrors there, I think. And in terms of Scotland and their approach to measuring well-being, well, we of course have our national indicators which sit underneath the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act. So again, I think there's lots of synergy, and of course we're open to learning from other nations and sharing our best practice too. In terms of the particular organisation and the network to which you referred, I'm not personally aware of an invitation, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't been extended, and I will certainly look into that, because as I say, we're keen to learn from others.
Okay, thank you. I understand that an invitation has been made and that the Welsh Government turned down the invitation to join this Wellbeing Alliance. I'll write to you as a Minister to share more information about that. And if that is indeed true, I think it's a matter of regret. We do have the Welfare of Future Generations Act, but we cannot rely on that. I think a few weeks ago in the Finance Committee, you said that budget adjustments are always made in the context of Welfare of Future Generations Act. I think the response that came from one former minister, Alan Davis, was that he was involved in conversations about some of those adjustments, and he doesn't remember any conversations about either the Future Generations Act or Prosperity for All in any of those conversations. So there are real questions about what is actually happening on the ground. Would you agree with me that, as we have said in Plaid Cymru, that we would, as a government, very much want to join the kind of alliance of well-being budget governments that I mentioned, that Welsh Government would be missing an opportunity if it were not to take every chance to learn from others in implementing the kind of budgets that actually work towards improving the well-being of the people of Wales.
Well, as I say, I'll look into that particular case of the network to which you refer. As I say, it's not something which has come across my desk. But Welsh Government is particularly keen to engage in networks and learn from others, especially now in the context of Brexit, of course, because our international relationships are as important as they've ever been now in terms of being able to demonstrate what we are doing in Wales and the values that we have here in Wales, which I think are shared by many across the world, and in terms of also learning from others, because we certainly don't have the monopoly on good ideas.